Getting the current date and time. Let's say you just want to put today's date into a cell. You could type it, of course, but Excel has a formula for that called today. What's interesting about this function is that it doesn't have any arguments. It simply looks at your computer's internal clock and gives you the date. You still need to type the parentheses though, so you'll enter equals today parentheses. The great thing about this is that the date is dynamic. It will update every time you open the workbook, always showing the current date. If you need the current time as well, there's a similar function called now. Just like today, it has no arguments, so you type equals now, parentheses, and it returns both the current date and time. This one is also dynamic, constantly updating based on your system clock. But what if you don't want the date to update? Sometimes you need to log a date and have it stay put. For that, you don't use a formula at all. There's a handy keyboard shortcut, Control, semicolon, Control and the semicolon key. This hard codes today's date into the cell and it will never change. You can even get the static time by pressing Control Shift semicolon. I sometimes use them together in one cell by typing Control semicolon, hitting the space bar, and then Control Shift semicolon to get both. Calculating working days. Now for something I find incredibly useful in project planning. Look at this table. We have a list of website tasks, their start dates, and how many working days each one is expected to take. Working days here means Monday through Friday. Our goal is to calculate the exact finish date for each task, skipping over weekends. For this, we'll use the workday function. Its first argument is the start date, which for our first task is in cell B6. The next argument is days, which is the number of working days it will take, in this case, 5. The function also has an optional third argument for holidays. This is really powerful. If you have a list of public holidays, you can tell Excel to skip those dates too. I've got a list of holidays below that. To include them, I'll just select that range, A19 through A29. Now here's a critical step. When I copy this formula down for the other tasks, I don't want that holiday range to move, so I need to make it an absolute reference by pressing F4. The formula now reads equals workday, parentheses, B6, comma, C6, comma, $A19, colon, $A29. When I hit enter and fill that down, I get to precise finish dates accounting for both weekends and public holidays. We can also tackle this from the opposite direction. What if you have a start date and an end date, and you need to know how many working days fall between them? For that, there's the network days function. Its arguments are straightforward, a start date, B34, and an end date, C34. And just like Workday, it has an optional holidays argument. I'll select my holiday list again and lock it with F4. After closing the parentheses and hitting enter, the function tells me exactly how many business days are in that period. Breaking down a date into its parts. The next set of functions are useful on their own, but they become real powerhouses when you start combining them with other formulas. Before we get there, you just have to get a feel for what they do. Here, I have a simple list of dates. From just that single date in column A, I want to pull out the day number, the name of the day, the month number, the month's name, the year, and the day of the week. First, to get just the day number from the date, for example, the 14 from 14 Jan 2026, we use the day function. Its only argument is the cell containing the date, which it calls a serial number. So equals day of A2 gives us 14. Perfect. But what if you want the name of the day, like Wednesday? Anytime you went to format a date or number into a specific text format, you'll need the text function. The first argument is the value, our date in A2. The second argument, format text, tells Excel how you want it to look. This part must be in quotation marks. If I want the 3-letter abbreviation, WED, I'll use parentheses DDD. Hit enter, and there it is. Next up is the month number. This is simple, just like the day function. We use equals month of A2, and it pulls out the month as a number. In this case, January is 1. And you've probably guessed it. To get the full month name, we turn back to the text function. The value is still our date in A2. For the format, if we wanted the short version, Jan, we would use parentheses MMM, but since I want the full name, January, I'll use 4 M's. Extracting the year is just as easy as you'd hope. The function is simply year. so equals year of A2 will return 2026. Now let's find the weekday number. For this, we use the weekday function. The first argument is the date. The second, return type, is important because it lets you define how the week is numbered. Some people consider Sunday day 1, but I think of Monday as day 1 and Sunday as day 7. Looking at the list of options, that corresponds to number 2. So my formula is equals weekday of A2, 2. This tells me that January 14th is Wednesday, which is the third day of the week. So why go to all that trouble? Well, now we can do something practical with that weekday number. I went to add a column that tells me if an invoice date falls on a weekend. Since we defined our week as Monday 1 through Sunday 7, we know that any day with a number greater than 5 must be a Saturday 6 or a Sunday 7. This is a perfect job for the if function. Our logical test will be, is the weekday number in the cell to the left greater than 5? If it is, the value if true should be yes. If it's not, the value if false should be no. The complete formula is equals if, parentheses, G2 greater than 5, comma, yes, comma, no. Let's copy that down, and you can see it correctly flags all the Saturdays and Sundays.